Well, I grew up in Hempstead. We're currently on Clinton Street, and you're gonna see a bunch of restaurants. I love Clinton Street. They have La Hacienda. This is my favorite Hispanic restaurant. Good baleadas. They got good deli food. Anything you would ever really want if you're craving it. I always think that like Hempstead is such a like good place when you're Hispanic. I know that it's predominantly like Black and Hispanic people, but like if you're ever looking for Hispanic food, like you're definitely gonna find it in Hempstead. I was born and raised in Hempstead. I started off in the buildings in front of Walgreens, and now I live on West Graham. It's a street by the high school. So, but yeah, right now, oh, that's La Fonda Deli. Also a good baleada place. But also good deli food. I always think of Clinton Street as kind of the very, how to say it, very obvious entrance into Garden City. Once we get further down the street, I feel like you guys will definitely be able to tell that it's Garden City. When you think of Hempstead, you see a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants, a lot of little homes, a lot of cars everywhere. You're always gonna see people. I feel like you can't ever walk out. Like, it's literally raining, but there's so many people out. Always laundry places. They got free drying. Okay. Oh, they're hollering at us right now. Can always count on them to hype you up. Oh my god, I was thinking at home today. I was literally like, I love Hempstead because I feel like, not that it's good like to have like a bunch of like, you know, like a bunch of drunkies all the time, but like I feel like if I went to McDonald's and like my local person wasn't there asking me for $1, it just wouldn't be the same. Like, they add character to the town, but I love it. Hempstead has always been a good place to me. I know in the news it always says like, oh, Hempstead is such a bad place, like so many drugs, this and that, but I feel like bad things are everywhere, and if you don't try to see the good in places, then you're not ever gonna see it. And I feel like this is why like I was so excited about this, just because, you know, finally Hempstead has a good light. I remember in middle school, I used to always see them sell outside my school, but I would never see them if like we had, you know, like the humongous award ceremonies. So like just things like that, or like when we would take literally like 4-day trips to like college tours, like awesome. Like I was literally in a hotel, like awesome stuff that like I feel like a lot of times those things aren't documented for like Hempstead kids. But of course, if there's a fight, they'll document that. So, oh, we're getting closer. So we're definitely getting closer. Can already feel the vibes changing. We see the sign over there, Village of Garden City. They even have some grass over here, some green grass. But literally, like, even the smell is different. I feel like this is just so crazy. I always make fun of this house because I was like, we're so close to being in Garden City. But yeah, like, look, you even start seeing benches in Garden City, and it's just like little things like that. Like, you really, it gets into your head. Like, growing up, I always, when we were going to the mall, it was always just like, Mom, like, why do they have trees? Like, why don't we have trees? And my mom was just like, oh, they just like trees. They're called Garden City. Like, and I was just like, that doesn't sit right with me. But like, even the fact that, like, just now I was complaining that you can't see the corners when you're turning on the street over there because there's so many cars, and then like you see streets over here, like, where are the cars? All of a sudden houses have driveways. Like, all of a sudden homes have garages to park their cars. But if we literally just look back, there's just like so many cars parked in the street, nowhere to park. Just like little things like that. Look at the privacy these homes have. If you ever go down North Franklin Street, all those dealerships that are over there, I always thought it was funny that they're if you look at their location, they're in Hempstead. But if you look on top, it's always like Mazda of Garden City, Millennium Toyota of Garden City. So why can't we have those dealerships in Hempstead? You guys are located in Hempstead, but you have to say that you're in Garden City. And it's just like, thinking about it, if a bunch of rich white people are looking it up and they're like, oh, this dealership is in Hempstead, maybe not, but if it's in Garden City, it's a little different. So I've always thought that was a little fishy. My mom is a house cleaner. A lot of her houses are in this neighborhood. I actually grew up going to houses with her sometimes. If I had off from school, I would just sit in their sala, in their living room. I would just sit there, and I remember at the end of the day, it always make me smile because they would end up giving me a tip. Like the ladies, they'd be like, oh, here, for coming, like for helping your mom. And it's just like, I sat on your couch all day. My dad is a landscaper. Also, Garden City is a majority of his houses. Sometimes I remember my house usually always looked like nice and kept because my dad was a landscaper, but I feel like a lot of homes in Hempstead, you don't see a lot of people going and landscaping, like, and I know it's literally because of like money wise, but it's kind of sad that even like the outside, like this technically doesn't belong to them, but it's still kept. But if you go to Hempstead, there's like just like random lots that there's like weeds growing out of nowhere, like plants you've never seen in your life. It's just like little things like that, or even like the fact that sometimes the garbages are just overflowing. Like, where's the sanitation? Little discrepancies like that. As a kid, when we went home trick-or-treating, not Hempstead, Garden City was always the place to go. All the, rich white neighborhoods, that was the spot. Like, my mom already knew, like, we had to get dressed early because we would have to drive out. We can't just start walking. And so we would always come to Garden City. Garden City would have the Halloween decorations. They would have the buckets of candy outside. You would knock and they'd be like, oh, trick or treat. It was like real family vibes. But like, if you went to Hempstead, you was gonna get like homemade candy, like, I don't know, like some wrappers from like last Halloween. But like, it was still so cute. I remember my house we used to have like a little bucket outside a little bit. We would try our best to decorate, but it just wasn't the same. But like, I feel like everyone just always knew to come here. I remember since there's so many landscapers here, they always piled the leaves, like the crispy autumn leaves, like fall leaves. And me and my cousins would like jump in them, like stomp in them, the crunchy noises. But it's just like, you couldn't do that in Hempstead.